So we just got off Highway 395 here, and we're stopping to look at the Rand Schist, the Rand thrust. So here is the Rand Schist, and just to summarize Kristen's talk, basically this is, accretionary prism material, sandstones and shales and stuff like that was subducted underneath. It was forced by a sort of shallow slab subduction underneath the continental crust in a way that it actually basically wiped out the whole lower crust and replaced the lower crust with this schist. So the thrust fault that was pushed down along is right up here. This is the Rand fault. If you sort of squint, you can see that there's sort of green rocks in the lower part of the hill. That's the Rand schist. And at the top of the hill is the more orange colored rocks, and that is the Johannesburg Gneiss. And so the Johannesburg Gneiss represents the lower crust of the Cordillera and batholith, basically. So these are plutonic rocks that intruded in the Cretaceous in this area. I think it's about 100 million years old. And because of the lower crust, typically the crust is more felsic at the top, things with granodiorites, granites, and more mafic at the bottom, things like diorites and gabbros. So as we get up there, we should see some things like diorites and gabbros and things like that. There are also some what I'll call supercrustal rocks, which are sediments that deposit on the surface that at some point in their history sank down to the bottom of the crust. One thing you might notice about the schist here is as we approach this thrust fault, the schist gets higher grade. It starts to have amphiboles in it, look more black in color. And so basically, you're shoving the schist underneath this hot lower crust of the arc. So the arc is super hot. The lower crust of there is probably close to 1,000 degrees Celsius. You push the schist underneath it, it's going to get metamorphosed up to amphibolite grade right along that contact. And so normally in the earth it gets hotter as you go down, but in a subduction zone we have an inverted metamorphic gradient because we have the hot arc crust above, and then you're pushing this cold sedimentary junk down below, and so it actually gets colder as you go down. So we have this more amphibolite facies Rand schist that's actually above lower grade green schist facies stuff down that way. So if you walk back to the car, notice that it gets more sort of green and schisty, and it gets more black up here towards this contact. Also, some of these have a really nice, what I call like a L-tectonite fabric, where they have really strong lineation in all directions. But if you look at the end, it's almost like little wormholes, because it doesn't really have strong foliation looking down the end of it. So it's almost like a linear structure that's been stretched out like taffy or something like that along the fault here. Yeah, so probably somewhere around here is where we're crossing the fault. Yeah, it's not really well exposed. I think in this creek over here it's almost exposed. yet, this sort of disturbed zone. With the highest grade part of the Rand Schist below, and then this junky brown stuff, which is the Johannesburg Gneiss. Here it actually looks like it's got carbonates in it. The carbonates are definitely a upper crust material. Oh yeah, there we go. This is a nice example of one of the diorites, or from the upper plate. Nice hornblende diorite. Generally more mafic rocks.